Hey my good friend, Sam Haymart. For Test Driven TV, there always comes a time in my career as a videographer, as a auto video guy, where I look at your comments and your questions on my videos and I finally get to a point where I gotta talk to you folks and answer some of these questions and kind of slap back at some of these nutty comments you put up there. It's time for a mow down. All right, my friends, let's get to this because I'm revved up and ready to have some fun with this. And as always, this is unrehearsed. I have some of the top comments here in the last few months that have really gotten my attention, both because there's some good questions, but also because some of you are nuts, man. You're nuts, just like me, but in a different way. So let's get right to it. First comment comes from Marc Hodges, and it's on the video test drive I did of the 2018 Mustang GT, and he says, all of your interior and ergonomic complaints I don't think apply to the owner. The owner who drives their car daily and therefore has an orientation and the familiarization to the driving ergonomics of the driver's seat. So what he's saying is, in this video I complained a lot about the layout of the interior, the cup holders and the shifter and the way things were done, right? I just commented on, this isn't laid out so good, some of these things. And what he's saying is, oh, you just don't understand that once you get to own a car, you learn to compensate and learn to respect all of its things that aren't correct. Now I kind of embellishing a little bit, but look, my job as a journalist when I test cars is to get in a car fresh, right? I'm not used to it. I'm not used to its problems. I'm not used to its good things. My job is to get into that car and sort of look like I'm a fresh car buyer and look for the things that I see as potential issues for you to look at when you're out test driving a car and shopping for cars. That's what I do. And I get in a lot of cars, so I know what has been done well, what works well, what lives well, and I know what doesn't, right? And so I get into the Mustang GT, and believe me, I love my Mustangs, and I said that in the video. I mean, I've had dozens of them over my lifetime. And so you'd think I'd be willing to overlook a few things, but that's not how I am. I'm very objective. I get in this car and the cup holders and the way things are laid out, not optimum, that's what I said. And so, you know, yeah, sure, once you get to own a car, sometimes you overlook stuff like that, right? If you own a Miata, one of the newer ones, chances are you've learned to overlook a lot of stuff because that's a nasty, terrible interior for actually living in the car. The Mustang's better than the Miata, but it's still a Mustang, right? You're getting the car for the way it looks, the way it drives, the way it handles, it sounds. Are you getting it because it's got the best laid out cup holders and switch and convenience? Probably not. But as a journalist, it's my job to point those things out in case you're comparing it against a Camaro and a Challenger. That's all. Next comment from, okay, so this comment comes from Freedom Quest Network. But you know, this was so rich. I had to have a friend of mine here. I think he's going to much more illustrate the feeling and the nuance of this comment. Ricky?
Am I really on TV? I'm excited. Hi, Mom. All right. Okay. So comment is from Freedom Quest Network. Now, that sounds patriotic. That's like right up my alley. Okay. Freedom Quest Network says, hogwash. Sam is the only one who smashed the review on this vehicle. I guess he didn't notice it's the SUV of the year. Maybe Sam's trying to appeal to the Antifa crowd with that ridiculous mohawk goonie haircut. Goonie. And low subscription tallies. Yep. And speaking of subscriber tallies, bam! Sam, you done lost another one. That is, you lost my subscription. Sam, you effed up. There, I read it. Not too many big words.
Yeah. Thanks, Ricky. Yeah, so, you know, I never get trophies or prizes for doing a negative review, right? A lot of you people, you don't understand the fact that when I do a negative review on a vehicle, or I just say just a moderate amount of things that aren't like heaping praise, some of you people freak the hell out. You freak out, right? It's like Subaru people are like that, especially on your little WRX. If I say anything nasty about that, you guys are on me like army ants, like Africanized bees, right? This Telluride that I test drove, I actually was complimentary on the car quite a bit. I had a lot of good things to say about it, but I had some things to say that were factual in my experience, right? And I got a lot of comments, mostly from people who own one, right? People who bought one and own one, they love their Telluride, and they're looking at me and other journalists out there to get validation. Okay, I got the right car. No, that's not my job. My job isn't to validate your purchase decision. My job is to objectively test cars. I don't look at what every other media outlet says about a car, right? I don't care if every media outlet in town give it Vehicle of the Year. It doesn't matter to me. In fact, I have not yet read or seen another review from anyone on this vehicle. That is an honest to God truth. I don't do that because I really don't care what the rest of the world says. I go out there and I test cars. I don't really want to know what they think because I don't want it clouding my judgment. So I said a lot of nice things about the Telluride, but I had some comments about the actual driving experience, and that's really what I'm after. I'm a driver. I want to know what the vehicle drives like. I could care less about navigation and stereo and all those other things. It's not my thing. So yeah, I take a lot of barbs when I do a negative review, but you know, I'm honest to what my perceptions are. And if you don't like it, throw your bricks if you want. This guy, man, Freedom Quest Network. Ricky got it on, man. I think that's how he told you that comment is how I read it. And that's just the richest one of many comments on that video. So keep them coming, I don't care. I don't mind. Bottom line is look, you're gonna get honest reviews from me, all right? Kia obviously didn't pay me for that review, did they? And I'm probably not getting any more Kias for a while. That's the risk I take when I do a review that's not positive. Not only am I getting all the people who bought one bitching and moaning at me like a bunch of crying little school children that got beat up on the field, but you know, the car maker goes, no, we're not gonna send you another thing for a while. That's kind of how that works. Subaru. I haven't said Subarus for a while. Have anyone noticed that? Yeah, just go look at some of my last reviews of them and you might be able to put that together. All right, so the next comment comes from Gork Stew on the 2020 Mazda 3 hatch review I just did this year. And he says, this guy sounds like my spiritual guru. I don't actually have a spiritual guru, but if I did, I'm sure he would sound like this. Nice review. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Next one is from the video I did bitching about fake exhaust pipes that are getting more and more prevalent out there on expensive cars that you wouldn't expect to find these little things on. Whole nother video, link down below if you want to see what I'm talking about. And this particular person said, the only funny stuff is his name. He says, if you had an Audi or VW with real tips, you'd know why they only highlight the amount of oil they burn. I like my new fake Q5 tips. I'll never have to clean them. You spent money on a Q5 and you're okay with the fact that it has fake exhaust tips? Really? You're not a car guy, okay? Really? You're okay with that? You're a fool. You're a fool. I'm telling you, look, because they burn oil? Is that what the dealership told you? Somebody told you that, oh, well, yeah, they burn oil and there's all kinds of soot that comes out those exhaust pipes. That's a good thing you don't have real ones there. And you still bought the car? Yeah, well, there you are. There you are. Next comment comes, and this is on my smart car that I purchased. I did a video earlier this year, a 1-year update. I purchased a smart car, right? I just lambasted that guy for buying a Q5 with fake exhaust tips, and I bought a smart car. But I did, and I have a whole review explaining why I bought it and what it's been like for the first year. And this person says, Paul M, he says, why get this car when no one else gets and can relate to it? It's not an aspirational car. Too bad. You could do good reviews, but now you just don't do reviews anymore, hence this worthless piece. So, it's a car, it's not an aspirational car. Of course it's not. Duh. No, it's not an aspirational car. It's not my job to do reviews. It's not called the Aspirational Car Channel. Okay? Not everybody buys an aspirational car. It's not my job is to, here's aspirational cars. I bought it for my company. It's a device, it's a tool, it's an appliance. A lot of people buy those. So I did the review for the purpose of showing what this device does, how it works, and if you were thinking of buying one, here's things to look at and consider. I do aspirational cars sometimes, and those are fun, but if you look at the sales numbers out there of aspirational cars and normal everyday cars that are appliances, 80% of the cars out there sold are not aspirational. So there you go. As to I don't do reviews anymore, that's just not necessarily so. Go look at my catalog. I mean, we do videos all the time. So I don't know what you're talking about. Worthless piece, call it whatever you want. It's getting plenty of views. So our last comment here comes on the 5.7 Tundra V8 engine. It was a technical piece that I did where I do these once in a while. I just sort of take a tour of the underhood and show what's going on with the engine and some of the components and things like that. And Rams Hack says, this is stupid. They shouldn't have called it a 5.7 because that's the name for the Hemi. They should have come up with at least 5.8, 5.4, but don't steal the name from a Hemi. That's why you don't see other companies doing that. What the hell are you talking about, dude? Do you know anything about cars? 5.7 isn't a name. 5.7 is the specification, the size of the engine. It's not a marketing device. It's a specification. 5.7, they stole that from the Hemi. Okay, well, if you're going to say a 5.7 is a Hemi from Ram or Chrysler, actually, if you want to be technical about it, General Motors had 5.7 before they did, so Chrysler stole it from them because the 350 V8 has been around a lot longer than the current 5.7 Hemi that Chrysler offers and everything. It's just not how things work. It's not how any of this works. Okay? These are specifications, not names. Hemi, in fact, is a marketing name. Now, if Toyota has said this was a 5.7 Hemi, well, then they'd be getting lawsuits from Chrysler. That's how that works. But a number, that's a specification. That's not a copyrighted marketing term. So there you go, folks. These are the comments that I like to roast, toast, and mow down. You watch the mow down. And I just have fun doing this because, well, it's coronavirus time and we're all locked in our houses. And so you're going to be seeing quite a few in-studio videos here for a while. And I will point out that if you're watching this right now in the month of April, we have quite a few test drives coming up. We've got 3 cars coming up in the next 3 weeks, and then 3 cars in May. So I like to take a week or 2 off in between the press cars just because I need time to catch up on those video productions. So we've got some exciting cars coming down the pike, and I look forward to reviewing those for you. If you like what you just saw, click here, see the latest video, or click down there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Either way, stay tuned. I'm a voter. I voted.